Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at Chasm. Chasm is a currently in development Metroidvania, and I was gonna say it's more of like a Castlevania-like than a Metroid-like, but I think that's kind of irrelevant or redundant given the name of the genre in the first place. But in any case, this is an in development Metroidvania that is currently on Kickstarter. It's about 4/5 of the way through to funding. It's at about 120,000, and it needs 150,000 within the next week or so in order to succeed. And this is a game that I've been enjoying a lot. Unlike Anne, which I played recently, Anne was much more of like a cave story style Metroidvania. Chasm is much more of a, again, Castlevania style Metroidvania, as you will see. So, I mean, there is a story in this game, of course, but I'm going to skip over it right now because the main thing inherent in this demo is actually mechanics. So the first thing that everyone has noticed when they see Chasm, and there has been a lot of coverage on this game, especially in the YouTube scene over the past few weeks since the Kickstarter started, is that it has absolutely beautiful pixel art. You know, I thought Anne looked beautiful as well. I'm going to try to stop comparing those so much. But this game absolutely has its own unique visual style that looks absolutely amazing as well. Now we start here in this town. The music is really good too, although there are only a couple of tracks. There's like a town track and a mine track. But our goal is to get inside of this mine that is over here at the end, and we're basically going to find out, this is the mine right here, we're going to find out why these miners have been disappearing. So if we try to open the door right now, we see that it's locked, and we go in here, and then we talk to this dude, and he's going to be like, "Welcome to Carthos, stranger, you've arrived at a bad time, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the miners never returned after this earthquake that we just got hit by. You'll just end up walking in circles down there. Blah, blah, blah. But in any case, he's basically like, you gotta find a weapon or I'm not gonna give you the key to the mine because that would be irresponsible and you're probably just gonna straight up die. Which makes him a pretty nice dude. So we are gonna come up here instead, and that ladder is apparently non-functional, and we will take our apples and our bread and our stone knife, and we will continue downwards and prepare for dungeon crawling. So again, Chasm is from Discord games, and in particular, I believe it's not necessarily developed entirely by one dude, but the main figure is definitely James Petruzzi, who originally sent me this build. Wait a minute. Yes, I have a weapon. Oh, he's gonna tell me I have to equip it first. All right. The demo is not super long. I might be able to beat it over the course of this video. I've beaten it once before, but it's a hard game. It hews more towards that Castlevania side. Not to say that Metroid is an easy game by any stretch of the imagination, but it's very punishing, and the combat is a major focus. So now he is going to give me a key, I believe, and we should be able to pop open this mine and get into the real mechanics of Chasm. As we equip our Book of Blades here, which is basically a sorcery that allows us to do damage, like so. So, the first thing we should point out is the interface here. So I am using the Xbox 360 controller, which is why you see that, like, X and B buttons up there. I'm not actually sure if there are PC controls inherent in this. Oh my god, don't die so early on. I think there are, but I'm not 100% sure because I use my Xbox 360 controller for basically everything related to platforming games at all. So basically what we are trying to do is descend through this chasm here, you know, this mine, and we're going to try to kill whatever is killing these miners, essentially. That's the way I understand it, at least. Again, to get back to the interface, it should be pretty obvious. The top left has our health on top, the red meter. Oh my god, I'm getting my ass kicked here. So let's just eat an apple. It's my solution to everything in life. Yeah, but I mean, that's our macro objective. Our micro objective, beyond just killing that monster, is going to be to get gold so we can get better equipment, to get loot so we can just find better equipment, ideally. We just found a bandana, which means we can actually equip that on our personage here, and it'll give us a little bit of defense. I really like this interface. This is not something new, but I really like how it easily shows what happens to your stats, and it's not super convoluted when it comes to stats either. So if I was to equip the bandana, you can see, oh, defense goes up 1. When RPGs don't do that, especially like loot-heavy RPGs, when they make it difficult to see how my stats are affected by items that I just picked up, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're making it so much harder to play your game. So this game does it really well. Don't walk into the rat's nest. It almost has like gauntlet-style nests, as you might have been able to see there. The blue meter below our health is our energy power, I believe, which basically allows... Oh, this is not good. Which basically allows us to see how much magic that we have left. And I'm spamming the Book of Blades here because I'm getting my ass kicked. Now, there is an experience component as well. As you can see, I did just level up. I'm getting my ass kicked in the combat here. This is a very do as I say, not as I do type situation. Chasm doesn't reward like Twitch gameplay. It definitely rewards patience, he says as he almost falls directly onto a pit of spikes. And watch out. I've got to be very careful because there is that TNT there that scares the shit out of me. But I have to get down here at the same time. Otherwise, I won't be able to kill this rat's nest. Now, we will find better loot, but the other thing that's worth noting is that, at least in this demo, I'm not sure if this is going to be in the final game, but when you die, it's almost like you have some kind of ring of sacrifice or something from Dark Souls. You don't just like lose all of your progress. You start back in the town, and you start with all of the items that you had in your inventory. I'm not sure if there was an experience penalty or something like that. But in that way, it almost has like and again, it is not a roguelike. The roguelike, this is actually one of the stretch goals at like $250,000 for the game that would randomize everything. But this is not a roguelike. But it has kind of that mechanic where when you die, you just respawn. I guess it's like the opposite of permadeath, actually. But then you get to try the dungeon again. Actually, it's kind of unroguelike now that now that I think about it, because it's like the opposite of permadeath. But in any case, hopefully you understand what I'm saying with that somewhat convoluted explanation that I've given there. Now, there are a lot of seemingly Diablo 2 references in the game as well, or at least homages. Like, for example, we can pick up this fountain, and this will instantly heal us and give us full EP again. It also has some Mega Man-ness. So, you know, every time we leave a room and then come back in, the enemies are going to respawn again, and we'll have to solve the room in reverse, basically, almost like with the Mario Kart after you get past 150 cc's. And again, you know, if we're going to add in another game that this reminds me of a little bit, it does have a little bit of, you know, why don't we use Legend of Dungeon instead of Dungeons of Dreadmore? But basically, our goal is to get down to the next level and just proceed. Now, there are only 2 levels in the game so far. I think I've gone the wrong way from the start, which is why I'm coming back this way now. And on the second level, you know, it's pretty similar to the first in this demo, but I expect that the game will get A, longer, and B, probably more challenging as well as you get down to those later floors. I mean, obviously it'll get more challenging, but I mean like proportionally more challenging in the same way that something like Isaac does, for example. Let's talk quickly about the Kickstarter again. I mentioned that they're at about 4/5 of their goal, 80%, 120,000-ish of 150,000 as of the time of this recording, and it'll probably be a couple days after recording before this goes up, so maybe it'll be even higher. But I would be very surprised if this didn't get funded, but at the same time, it is kind of at that point where a push would be nice, I guess. So if you're interested in supporting this on Kickstarter, the 2 probably most appealing goal or reward tiers would definitely be the $15 tier, which gets you a copy of the game. It's basically like pre-ordering it, and $25, which gets you a copy of the game as well as early access. And it's interesting to me that that $25 tier has more support than the $15 tier right now. This is not related to Chasm necessarily, but it is kind of interesting to me that when like Prison Architect entered alpha and people hypothesized that Prison Architect was going to cost more for early alpha than it was for the final release, people got all bent out of shape and they were like, oh, but then like you're basically punishing us for bug testing your game. But now apparently, you know, if this is indicative of consistent trends, then people are willing to pay a little bit extra in order to get their games early, which is, you know, kind of interesting. Someone, Italics, at youtube.com/gamersdescent was talking to me about it, and he posited that, like, you know, if you pitch early and you're pre-ordering, but you don't get anything in return, it kind of feels like an investment. Whereas if you pay that extra $10, it's almost like you're expediting the whole process of getting a return on your money, which is kind of interesting to me, but in any case, I digress. But anyway, those are the 2 kind of standard level reward tiers for Chasm, I would say, 15 and 25. And, you know, I think it's absolutely worth it if you like what you see. This game, it needs some extra work to be in a... Oh, I hate this shrine because I have no idea what it does. We should use... Maybe eat a turkey leg or something, though. It needs some work to demo better, I think. I mean, it demos well right now, which means basically it just looks good when people are playing it and you're watching it. Because the art is so good, and you know, the combat's there, and the combat feels nice, the controls are really good. Growth requires sacrifice. I don't know what this means, if maybe if we like somehow manage to kill ourselves there, we'd get some kind of reward. But you know, it's neat that it has that kind of mystery in it, like Spelunky did, if you didn't read any guides or FAQs or anything like that. There we go, there's our way down to the next floor. But why don't we find some more loot? No one will ever say, man, I wish I didn't spend, or I'm so sorry I spent more time on the last floor and became stronger before moving down to the harder floor. You might as well go to the shrine. The shrine says you feel open to learning, so I believe this will make us more likely to get book drops or something like that. We actually did get a new item as well here. And again, let's take a look at this interface. Go from stone knife to rusty sword, and you can very easily see, oh, my attack will go from 5 to 7. So again, when you level up, there is no... Oh, these enemies are a pain in the dick. When you level up, there is no like attribute assignment screen. Instead, it works much more like, you know, a game where... What's a good example of that I played recently? There were a couple, but it is, Anne is actually like that. When you level up, your stats just increase. I'm not sure if anything beyond that is planned in the full release. It doesn't really matter to me, honestly. What I love about games like this the most is basically just the combat. So as long as they just keep scaling me well enough, I don't really mind character customization that much. But to get back to my earlier point, it needs a little bit of work, I think, to play better, because as of right now, it's fun. But every run's pretty similar, except for the randomized loot, and you know, the music does get a little repetitive because it's basically just the same track over and over. But once that stuff gets added, I could easily see this being a game that I would spend a lot of time with, because it's right up my alley. It's basically like a, you know, Super Nintendo style Castlevania, Metroidvania game. I would love to see some boss fights as well. I mean, the demo kind of ends with a monster like looking you in the face and growling, and then it's just like, that's the end of Chasm. And that's cool, but I kind of would love to fight that monster as well. Also, I have gotten other books before, but I most commonly just get the Book of Blades, which is really useful, especially for taking out these bats, which are largely huge assholes. But there was a Book of Healing I had before as well. And it's not easy. If you watch Josh play this on his 52-hour live stream, I mean, he was kind of done in by extenuating circumstances given how tired he was, but at the same time, you know, this is not a game that's easy, despite the fact that it might look like, oh, Northernlion's not dying, despite the fact that he's bad at video games. Well, I am burning through my healing items pretty quickly, but beyond that, this is also the... Oh, that's the end of the demo! I accidentally walked into the right room, I guess. But yes, beyond that, this is like my third or fourth time playing through the demo, so I guess that's as good a place as any to stop it. Again, this is Chasm. It is available on Kickstarter. I will put a link in the video description to the Kickstarter. I'm not sure if it's on Greenlight, but if there is, I'll put a link down there as well. And I want to, just the macro call to action, if you like the games you see, no pressure to kickstart them. I'm sure James from Chasm or Discord Games is like, oh fuck, why did you say that on my game? But if you like these games, no pressure necessarily to kickstart them unless you want to. But vote for them on Greenlight so they can actually see the light of day and have a chance to, you know, become super profitable and, you know, get good remuneration, or that's the opposite, reparations for their time, I guess. But in any case, yes, the other thing I want to point out about the Chasm Kickstarter is that the demo build that I'm playing, totally playable on the game's Kickstarter page. So you can play this as a free demo for yourself. You can see if you like it and then make an informed choice from there. Because I would feel remiss if you know, backed this for like 25 bucks because of me, and then decided once you actually got your hands on it that it was pretty shitty. So again, buyer beware. I don't think it's pretty shitty. I think this is a lot of fun, and above all else, I think its strongest point, at least right now, is that it is an absolutely beautiful homage to that SNES style, like pixel art graphics. But in any case, again, links in the video description if you are interested. As always, thanks for you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.